Election season is heating up. Over a warm cup of coffee, political talk is perking.
I'm running, but I'm standing on the shoulders of a lot of people.
First-time female candidates, like Democrat Alyssa Slotkin, running for Congress in the rural 8th District.
How much did Trump's victory play a part in your decision?
You know, I think it was part of it, but it was the overall tenor and tone. Just women feeling like, if not me, then who? And if not now, when?
Slotkin, a former Pentagon official with 3 tours in Iraq, is one of a record number of women running in the midterm. The spike follows the powerful Me Too movement. In 2018, 420 women in 47 states are planning to run for the House. Now, only 84 women serve.
It's up to us to do it.
While Democrats make up the majority of the new women candidates, Republican women are seeing an increase too.
And I'm a candidate for Congress.
Right next door to Slotkin's district, Republican Lena Epstein is running for Congress.
Opportunities for Americans are better and broader now.
We need competition.
Epstein, who runs a family oil business, also a first-time candidate, fighting for an open seat after working as co-chair of Donald Trump's winning Michigan campaign.
I was inspired by Donald J. Trump as a job creator. I think it's great that more women are getting involved.
A new flood of women seeking the same thing, a chance to make a difference. Katie Beck, NBC News, Detroit.
And we're starting off this Sunday morning. Plenty of sunshine out there. Some additional clouds earlier this morning. Those clouds are slowly shifting off to the south. And with that change in the time during the overnight, sunrise this morning was at 7:40 here in the Tulsa area. And look at that sunset tonight at 7:28 as we're going to gain an hour of sunlight here during the early evening hours. So if you have any outdoor plans, you have an extra hour of that light. Definitely some good news there as we see the daylight hours getting a little bit longer here in eastern Oklahoma. Let's take a look at some rainfall numbers. Yesterday afternoon and evening, tracking a few showers and thunderstorms, a couple of strong to severe storms southeast of Tulsa as well. But officially here in the city, we only picked up very little, a trace or less in many locations. A few spots picked up some rain for a brief period of time. So far for the month out at the International Airport, a trace of rain officially. For the year, a little bit over 5 inches of rain. The surplus is still at about a ½ an inch or so, but it has come down over the last couple of weeks as it has been a dry start to the month of March. And we're seeing dry weather out there this morning after a few isolated showers early this morning. Areas of far northeast Oklahoma, most of the activity has pushed off to the east and to the northeast. You notice we are seeing this area of low pressure. You notice this spin with some light to moderate snow across northern areas of Missouri. On the southern edge of it, where we're seeing temperatures above freezing, just a cold rain. You notice this is dropping off to the south and southeast. So as it moves to the south, we could see 1 or 2 isolated showers making it into far southeastern Kansas or far northeast Oklahoma later on this afternoon. Most of the activity will be east of us, but if you live up around Miami or Grand Lake or points to the east, don't be surprised if an isolated shower moves into your area or at least a little bit of additional cloudiness through the afternoon. The strongest of the storms now pushing toward the New Orleans area. The strong line of storms with some gusty winds pushing towards the New Orleans, but that's moving well away from us, and we're dealing with plenty of sunshine out there under partly cloudy skies. Air Comfort Solutions River Spirit Cam. We are seeing temperatures slowly on the rise now. We're at 46 degrees, but that north wind at 23 making it feel much colder than the actual temperature. Feels more like the upper 30s and lower 40s right now here in the Tulsa area. So even with that sunshine, you'll need a good jacket or a coat at least through the rest of the morning. Probably want to keep it even into the afternoon, especially if you're going to be in the shady areas through the afternoon hours. 42 in Bartlesville and Copan, 41 in Coffeyville and Joplin, 45 Tahlequah, still sitting at 50 degrees in McAllister. And look at these winds out of the north right now, 23 miles per hour in Tulsa, 26 mile per hour wind in Coffeyville, even over Tahlequah, 20 mile per hour north winds. Sustained winds. Here's a look at some of the wind gusts. Look at this, 35 to 40 miles per hour out in central and north central Oklahoma. Most of the wind gusts in eastern Oklahoma, 20 to 30 miles per hour. You notice Coffeyville, though, current wind gusts of 36 miles per hour. Windy northerly winds continuing right on through the afternoon. So on future track through the afternoon, we're going to see mostly sunny to partly cloudy skies. We move through the afternoon. You notice some additional cloudiness possible in far northeast Oklahoma. An isolated shower not out of the question. Again, most of that over into Missouri and Arkansas. As we move through the evening and overnight, mostly clear to partly cloudy skies area-wide and a cold start tomorrow morning with temperatures upper 20s and lower 30s. But this afternoon, we'll see mostly sunny to partly cloudy, breezy north winds and temperatures warming into the mid-50s, so about 20 degrees cooler than yesterday afternoon. If you have any evening plans out, make sure you have a good jacket or a coat with you. We'll drop into the 40s as we move through the evening hours. The winds will drop off a bit, but still out of the north at 10, occasionally up to 15 miles per hour. Down to 32 tonight here in Tulsa. Some outlying areas upper 20s and lower 30s. 56 sunny tomorrow. Same story for Tuesday morning, around 30 degrees, 57 the afternoon high in the 20s as we start Wednesday. But that starts the rebound as we'll see temperature of 60 on Wednesday, 70s Thursday, near 80 on Friday, lower 80s expected on Saturday. So much warmer will for the second half of the upcoming work week. And you notice a chance of rain, pretty small, only a slight chance on Friday. So unfortunately, as we move through the week, with that lack of rainfall, we're going to have to talk about ups and downs with the fire danger when those winds kick up off and on through the next 7 days.
That risk always jumps up there, yeah.
This time of year, when you don't see any rainfall for a couple weeks and you get that wind, yep, got some big problems out there.
We're making that change, though.
You got it.
All right, thank you, Taft. Plans are underway for an historic face-to-face summit between President Donald Trump and the North Korean leader Kim Jong-un. The president tweeted this weekend about it again, saying, quote, "The deal with North Korea is very much in the making and will be, if completed, a very good one for the world." The South Koreans, on their part, suggested that the president would meet Kim Jong-un in May, but the official time, place, and agenda are still all being decided. Happening now, the U.S. is displaying an unusual type of warning against China. NBC's Janice Mackey-Frayer reports on what they're doing to counter China's aggressive actions on a major body of water.
It's a sight not seen since the Vietnam War. An American aircraft carrier arriving in Da Nang, a sign of growing ties between former foes, and a clear message to China.
China's a strategic competitor for us, and that's the way we best phrase it, is we watch what they do. They are a competitor.
The message, the U.S. will not stand for China's claim to the South China Sea.
We're going to be exceptionally candid about the areas in which Chinese behavior concerns us. That does include Chinese behavior in the South China Sea.
China has built nearly 3,000 acres of man-made islands, fortified with runways and ports there. The USS Carl Vinson is a 1,092-foot-long U.S. reminder that these waters are not China's alone.
We have in the past operated here. In the future, we will continue to operate here. The Aircraft Carrier Strike Group provides that opportunity for our decision makers back in the States.
The U.S. does regular freedom of navigation operations in the South China Sea, sailing ships and flying planes, part of a strategy to blunt the influence of China.
But their clout is growing. With Chinese defense spending on the rise, 6 aircraft carriers in the works.
That does not impact any of the United States Navy's operations. We will sail, fly, and operate wherever international law allows.
The USS Carl Vinson's port call to Vietnam did not go unnoticed in Beijing. A Communist Party editorial warned that China could easily deploy its air force or missiles as deterrents. The potential for armed conflict looms large here on a map that China hopes to change. Janice Mackey-Frayer, NBC News, Da Nang, Vietnam.
Well, happening today, an old interview with O.J. Simpson is finally going to be broadcast. The growing outcry by some critics over what he said on camera all these years ago. Coming up, you're watching 2 Works for You, Sunday morning. New details this morning. O.J. Simpson is once again making headlines. This time it's for an old interview recorded 12 years ago, but never aired until now. NBC's Joe Fryer reports on the controversy surrounding this behind a special airing tonight.
In 2006, O.J. Simpson gave a no-holds-barred interview.
Fox calls the special O.J. Simpson, The Lost Confession with a question mark.
I remember I grabbed a knife. I do remember that portion. Where the bloody clothes, so somebody had to get rid of the bloody clothes.
Taped in 2006, the ex-football star was asked to speculate about what might have happened in 1994 when his ex-wife Nicole Brown and her friend Ron Goldman were murdered.
First of all, this is very difficult for me to do this. It was very difficult for me because it's hypothetical. I know and I accept the fact that people are going to feel whatever way they're going to feel.
Simpson has always proclaimed his innocence.
If it doesn't fit, you must acquit.
And during his criminal trial was found not guilty. But he later recorded the interview and detailed what he called a hypothetical account of the crime to promote his book, If I Did It. At one point, he discussed going to his ex-wife's house with a so-called friend named Charlie.
Charlie came by and mentioned something about what was going on at her house. I don't know why you had been by Nicole's house, but it told me you wouldn't believe what's going on over there.
After a huge public outcry, the interview never aired and the book was shelved, with the rights later given to the Goldman family, who released it under the title, If I Did It, Confessions of the Killer. Since then, Simpson served 9 years behind bars for a botched armed robbery.
I've basically spent a conflict-free life.
Released in October, he has been living in Las Vegas. Simpson's attorney, Malcolm Laverne, says his famous client won't be watching the interview this weekend and has no strong feelings about it airing.
It is not to be considered in any way to be taken as truth. It is certainly not a confession of any kind.
Ron Goldman's sister Kim tells Extra she will watch.
And if it's really anything like what we believe the If I Did It book to be, and that was what we think is his confession, then sure, let the world see that.
Joe Fryer, NBC News.
This morning, teachers are still fighting to raise their wages all across the Sooner State. The act of solidarity by another group here if lawmakers do not meet that demand. After this.
And we're taking a live look at our Comfort Solutions River Spirit Cam. We're looking off to the north and northeast. Plenty of sunshine. Much cooler afternoon, though, as expected in eastern Oklahoma. But a big warm-up will return. I'll show you when coming up in the 7-day planner.
Happening now, you should have no trouble finishing any of your weekend plans outdoors. TAP's looking ahead to when we could see temperatures climb all the way into the 80s. Good Sunday morning, everyone. I'm Will Dupree, and thanks again for joining us this morning. We will not see those incredibly warm temperatures today. We have a bit of a chill in the air to start off our Sunday. For another update on our forecast, let's go now to meteorologist Taft Price, who again is in this morning for John. And Taft, it is going to be a pretty nice day ahead, though a little cool.
Yeah, not too bad. We're going to see temperatures warm into the 50s, Will, but it's that north winds you really have to deal with. It's very strong. We've seen some wind gusts over 30 miles per hour this morning, making it feel a little colder than the actual temperature. So we'll see temperatures about 20 degrees colder than yesterday afternoon. Nice and mild on our Saturday. Not quite as nice today, but still not bad. Dry conditions for areas of southeast Kansas and northeast Oklahoma as we move through the afternoon hours, though. You notice this area up to the north and east, the spin that we're seeing across areas of Missouri, dropping to the south and southeast. So one or two of these showers on the west and southwest side could briefly brush far southeastern Kansas or far northeastern Oklahoma as we move into the afternoon. But most of the activity will stay off to the east of us. Down to the southeast, look at this strong line of thunderstorms continuing to push from Baton Rouge over just north of the Biloxi area. We had a tornado warning just around Baton Rouge about 15 minutes ago. That's moving toward the New Orleans area, so a strong line of thunderstorms in southern Louisiana. For us, well, we're seeing a slow decrease in the clouds, mostly sunny to partly cloudy right now in our Air Comfort Solutions River Spirit Cam. 46 degrees, strong north wind, though, currently at 23 miles per hour. We're at 41 in Ponca City, 42 in Bartlesville and Copan, 44 Okmulgee and Henrietta, 47 in Muskogee. And into the afternoon, mostly sunny to partly cloudy skies and temperatures warming into the low to mid 50s with that strong north wind. Cold night is ahead tonight. Some locations are going to drop below freezing, but I have a big warm up on the way. I'll show you when that arrives coming up in the forecast in just a couple of minutes.
Thanks, Taft. New overnight now, a man is dead after his truck rolled on a highway near Miami. State troopers responded to Highway 59 near County Road 520 just after 3:30 this morning. They say a pickup truck veered off the road there before rolling 3 times and throwing the driver out of the vehicle. He was later declared dead at that scene. This morning, a family is in relief after a 17-year-old mother and her 6-week-old baby were found safely this weekend following an Amber Alert. The mother of Adasia Kitchen spoke before her daughter and granddaughter were found yesterday by authorities. She said her daughter suffers from mental health issues and had some difficulty adjusting to becoming a new mom.
After she had the baby, she was being real distant, crying all the time.
Police did not comment on where Kitchen was found because she's under 18. Police said they're unsure right now if there will be any charges filed in this case. New details this morning. A jury is recommending life in prison for a Tulsa woman convicted of killing her 7-month-old baby. Ruth Lewis was found guilty of child abuse murder for killing Zayden Myers. Zayden was rushed to the hospital in 2016 after he was found unresponsive. Investigators say he suffered severe brain injuries after he was shaken and pushed to the ground. Lewis will receive her sentence on April 13th. Many questions do remain this morning after an Army veteran returned to a California treatment center and held 3 women hostage at gunpoint before killing himself and them. The community is mourning the death of those 3 mental health professionals. They all worked at the nation's largest home for military veterans there in California. All 3 died during an 8-hour standoff at a facility that also treats PTSD and combat veterans. New information this morning. Osage County deputies briefly took a woman into custody and are now looking for a man after a chase on a dirt bike. This happened yesterday near North 57th West Avenue in Edison. A deputy says the driver nearly hit his vehicle when he tried to pull over the bike. They took off and eventually went into some woods.
Public safety was something that was important to me throughout this event. We're just thankful that no one was hurt and we all get to go home.
The woman was released a short time later. Deputies say the man has warrants out for his arrest in Pawnee County, some involving guns. New details in the proposed state employee walkout. On Saturday, those state workers voted to officially join the teachers across Oklahoma in protesting if they do not get a raise. The Oklahoma Public Employees Association wants legislators to approve $213 million in pay raises by April 2nd.
A teacher walkout is one thing, but state employer walkouts are another thing entirely, because you're talking about sectors like corrections, and the DMV.
State employees got their last raise the same time as teachers did back in 2008. Happening today, if you're looking to check off some items from your home improvement list or some other things in your yard, look no further. The Greater Tulsa Home and Garden Show ends today at the Tulsa Expo Center. It's the largest show of its kind as well here in Oklahoma, with more than 500 exhibitors.
This show has been going on since 1949, so it's a long time show, and it's all volunteer ran. So all the people that put this show together are all volunteers from the Home Builders Association of Greater Tulsa.
The event features include flower sales, cooking showcases, and just about everything you might need for a home improvement project. As you see there, our crew was out there yesterday to meet and greet some of you all that stopped by the show. That show again picks up today from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. A Green Country kindergartner is asking for an incredible gift for his 8th birthday. Instead of his average presents, Asher Jordan is asking to receive donations for a cause rather than a gift. He'd like to raise money to supply backpacks for the Joy to the Rescue project, Kids in Crisis. After finding the nonprofit on a bulletin board at his church, Asher says he knew just what he'd want to spend his birthday wish on.
Additionally, he saw that they also volunteer at nursing homes. And he was having a magician party for his 8th birthday, and he asked if he could just take his magician party to the nursing home and share the joy there of his party.
And that's exactly what happened. The project, though, impacts the lives of children and equips first responders with resources to soothe the child's fear. Joy to the Rescue supplies backpacks filled with comforting items to give to those kids during scary times. Asher set a goal on his birthday to raise $800 for that cause, which would supply 16 backpacks. Well, a mythical creature is the center of attention for one group this weekend. Why they believe Bigfoot is not the stuff of fiction. After this, you're watching 2 Works for You Sunday morning.
Work.
We've got another dish to be made here in our kitchen with Executive Sous Chef Saul from Fireside Grill at River Spirit Casino Resort. Chef, what are you making today?
Well, today we got another little new Mexican Southern twist on some grits.
That seems to be some of your favorite flavors there,
yes.
Mixing those two.
Yes, I think they go well together. So right here we have our bacon cheddar grits that we
now that
cooked
sounds
off.
Good.
And we're going to do some over medium eggs right here. So we're going to go ahead and take this out.
All right. And so what goes in the grits too?
This is a little bit of chicken stock, some cream, butter, the grits,
all the good
cheddar
stuff.
cheese, all the good stuff.
And then what is this you're bringing over too?
This is a red chili carne elevada. So we braised pork in red chili for about 6 hours, marinated, then braised it. And I'm going to put that right on top.
And that makes the flavor even much better.
Oh yeah. We're going to get a couple of our medium eggs.
You've got the technique down so well too.
Yeah.
Done this a few times.
Right on top. And coming from New Mexico, we like everything with Christmas on it. So we're going to put some green. We already have our red chili.
Sure, yeah.
I'm going to smother that right there in our green sauce, made with our hatch green chilies.
Great.
A little bit of queso fresco to finish
and tell
it.
about the story behind this recipe. How did you put it together? Where did it come from?
At home, cooking.
Yeah.
Always trying to figure out something different to do for breakfast.
Just try to do different things.
Yeah, I got a couple guinea pigs at home that like to eat my food.
I'm sure they do love it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So where can people find this at Fireside?
This will be on our brunch Saturday and Sunday.
Okay.
Thank you.
Chef, thank you again.
Thank you.
New this morning, China's parliament endorsed a controversial plan to amend that country's constitution. The decision paves the way for President Xi Jinping to stay in power indefinitely. Of the nearly 3,000 ballots cast, only 2 opposed the move. China's constitution used to limit presidents to 2 consecutive 5-year terms. New developments this morning, we learned that President Donald Trump's personal attorney, Michael Cohen, used a Trump Organization email account during negotiations to pay off a porn star. Drew Griffin reports now.
The emails are brief. First Republic Bank advising Michael Cohen the funds have been deposited into your checking account. Cohen forwards that message to Stormy Daniels' attorney. What is potentially damaging for Cohen? The email account he used. @TrumpOrg.com is a Trump company email account, which could indicate the Trump Organization was somehow involved in a $130,000 payment to silence a porn actress.
Please tell me what the hell is going on.
I think this development is significant because it shows that at all times during the communication process relating to the negotiation surrounding this hush payment, that Mr. Cohen was utilizing his Trump Organization email in those communications, not just when communicating with Mr. Davidson, Ms. Clifford's attorney at the time, but also internally when he was communicating with the bank about the specific issue of transferring the money.
While there is no evidence Donald Trump knew about the email or the payment, if the payment did involve Mr. Trump, it could be considered illegal, a violation of campaign finance law because it was never reported to the Federal Election Commission.
The cover-up is that you have Attorney Cohen claiming that Donald Trump never knew anything about this. You have the White House claiming that Donald Trump never knew anything about this. That's going to be shown to be patently false. We have substantial evidence and facts that were not included in the complaint, and when that evidence and those facts come to light, the American people are going to conclude that Attorney Cohen and the White House have not shot straight with them on this issue.
And there may be more than just emails. The so-called hush agreement written by Michael Cohen says Stormy Daniels, under her real name, Stephanie Clifford, came into possession of certain confidential information about DD, Donald Trump's alias, including information, certain still images, and/or text messages. Cohen goes to write, included in those are images Donald Trump previously represented to his counsel to exist, i.e. text messages, between PP, Stephanie Clifford, and DD, Donald Trump. In other words, it implies Trump told his personal attorney Trump and Stormy Daniels shared text messages.
Drew Griffin reporting there. Cohen says that he often uses his Trump Organization email for both personal and business reasons.
And through the morning hours, we've been tracking a decrease